All right, guys, challenge time. Take $5,000, invest that into playing poker, and flip it to $15,000 as fast as possible. Sounds like a horrible idea, but we're gonna do it anyway. About to hop in the car, drive 2 hours up to LA. We're gonna play at Lucky Lady Casino tonight. The blinds, 235. Might not sound like a lot, but the game gets lots of straddles, lots of action. The stacks get incredibly deep. So it's a game that doesn't take a lot to buy in, 500 or 1K cap, but the stacks get incredibly deep. There's a lot of upside potential. Give us a lot of headway into this challenge. Or tonight's a complete train wreck. We lose the $5,000, cancel the YouTube channel. We're done. No backup plan. So let's just pick some good spots, hopefully run good, and we live to see another day. Without further ado, I got my bag packed, I got my wallet, keys, my charger, my money. Let's go gamble. First hand, we look down at Queen Jack offsuit, connected Broadway cards, well within our opening range. So we bump it up to $25 and get two calls, one from the button, one from the small blind, and we are off to a flop. And it is above average. I flop open-ended straight with the second nut flush draw, stick out a C-bet of 25, pretty much all monotone boards. I'm gonna be C-betting very small, but at a high frequency. And this time we actually have it, but our opponent from the small blind check raised us, trying to represent a flush, sets, two pairs. The turn comes out, giving us a pair to go with our monster draw. So now we are ahead of bluffs, and our opponent bets 160, and I make the pretty quick and easy call. And we are off to a river, which is the brick of all bricks. So now we lose the flushes, lose the two pairs, lose the sets, but we are ahead of all bluffs. The 7-deuce game is on. If he has just the ace of clubs, he's likely going to be playing it the same way. I think our hand is a little bit too strong to fold, even though this might look like an extremely light call. I think we just have to put it in, getting 3-1. And we hear the best words after making a hero call. Opponent says, "You are good," and shows us the 7-deuce. He was going for the bounty, and it cost him his entire stack. We ship this monster $1,400 pot. This session is off to a good start. For this next hand, we look down at two black eights. We're in middle position. Let's raise this up to $40. It's been kind of a standard open when the straddle is on. And we get two callers, both from the blinds. So we get to play a middle pair from position. Let's keep it low, dealer. Or better yet, just flop me top set an 8-6-3. Checks over to me. I have a very high c-betting frequency in this game, so no reason to stop now. I bet out $80, and we get check raised to 200. I don't want to tip my opponent off on how strong my hand is, so I just call. The turn does bring in the front door flush. So our opponent does lead out for $300. Some red flags. He certainly could have been check raising me with a flush draw. That would make some sense. Never folding. Doesn't make much sense to raise, so we stick in the call. Hope to improve on the river, and we do. We make a full house, but it brings 4 to a flush out there, which could be an action killer. Our opponent checks it over to us. I want to pick a sizing that he's pretty much calling with any heart. If he had a hand like 7-9 of hearts, I think any heart is calling. So we bet half pot. We think half pot's gonna be the magic number. To our surprise, our opponent goes all in which we, of course, make the snap call. And he shows us pocket sixes. What a cooler. Happy to be on the good end of this cooler and scooping this monster $3,700 pot. This session could not be going better. Next hand, we look down at ace queen. We're in middle position. We're gonna go ahead and raise to $25, and we actually get 5 callers. We're taking this flop 5 ways. Flop 2 up, 2 overs, a gut shot, And I'm gonna go ahead and stick out a c-bet here, as we've been pretty much c-betting this game 100%, as we've been pretty successful on redlining these guys. And again, we're just running so pure. We get one caller and I turn top pair. So now we have top pair, top kicker. So I get to continue betting when my opponent checks to us. We bet $65 this time. And we makes the call. I think he's probably got a lot of combo hands that involve one pair and a straight draw. And the 8 is a pretty safe card. It brings in the backdoor flush draw, but it misses all those combination type draws like 6-5, 6-4, 6-3, ace-5. We're still ahead of pretty much all of his hands that he would play this way. So no reason not to go for value. We stick out $240. Our opponent does him and haul. Feel very confident I do want to call at this point. He does stick in the call. We do have the best hand. We scoop another nice pot. $815 going our way. Let's keep it going. Running so pure. Next hand, we look down at ace-8 suited. Now, cutoff raises to 25. The button calls, and I'm in the blinds with a suited ace. Not the best hand to be 3-betting here, but my confidence is pretty high for me to be able to outplay my opponent's post flop. So yeah, this is a little bit loose, you could say, to be 3-betting from the blinds, but we have an ace, so we block aces, right? And we take a flop heads up, and we flop top pair, top kicker. Our opponent has 400 in the stack. There's 200 in the middle. I just go for an overbet here. It's late in the night. I'm very confident I have the best hand. And let's see if I can't get my opponent to make a light call with a worse 8 or possibly a 7, maybe a hand like 10-9. So I'd be a little bit funny by sticking out 700 chips, knowing my opponent only has 420 behind. But you get the gist of it. Overbetting late in the night. Let's continue just stacking our opponents, bulldozing this table. Opponent does laugh, thinks about it, but does lay it down, show over my hand, and we scoop another little small pot. Small pot, but it was kind of a fun one. So it's in the vlog, baby.
What up, guys? Just wanted to pop in here really quick and say thank you so much for watching thus far. I only have one other hand to show you guys because my phone actually dies. I'm a vlog noob, but bear with me. But before we get into that last hand, I would like to again thank you so much for watching. And if you could please like, comment, and subscribe, I would seriously really appreciate it. Also, down below, you'll find a link to a Discord channel. I built that out for me and some of my poker friends so we could all help level up our games. We share some trade secrets. We go through some sessions that we've played. We go through some training materials. So if you guys are interested in leveling up your game, you can find that link below. And without further ado, let's get into the last hand of the session.
All right, this hand, we are playing 2, 3, 5, 10, 20. I'm the $10 straddle. The guy to my left is the $20 straddle. And the hijack ends up calling 20, the cutoff calls 20, the small blind calls 20, and the big blind, as you just saw, made it $80. I see a lot of dead money in there. I have king, queen, O. I go ahead, happily stick in the call, as me and some of my opponents are very, very deep. I call, and only the hijack also comes along. So we end up seeing this pot 3 ways, $285 in the middle. And the flop comes out pretty favorable for us. We flop top pair on king, jack 3, 2 clubs. And our opponent does c-bet for $60, which is a third pot. A lot of opponents might be betting third pot here with range, but this particular opponent, I actually see this as weakness. I think he's gonna have a lot of ace X's and more than likely just a lot of middle pairs. So I stick in the call and the hijack does fold. The turn comes also pretty favorable for us, the queen of hearts. So we have top 2 pair. Our opponent checks to us and I could try to squeeze out some value, betting small. I feel like our opponent's pretty weak here. There's now 405 in the middle. Our opponent only has 350 behind. So I stick out a bunch of whites, see if I can't get him to stick it in light. But he makes the correct fold and we scoop in this nice little $405 pot. So another one going our way. This session is going well.
All right, guys, that is a wrap at Lucky Lady Live. We ended up $2,350, $2,350. So not a bad little session, but it's time to pack our bags. We are headed to Canada. We are going to Montreal to play at the Playground. Last time we were there to play the World Series of Poker circuit. We ended up making a final table. This trip, they are hosting the Major Series of Poker, the League, and they are collabing with the Canadian Poker Open. So should be an awesome series. Good turnout. Hoping to make some more deep runs. So next vlog, stay tuned for that. And again, really appreciate you guys watching. If you wouldn't mind, like, comment, subscribing, all that good stuff. And see you guys next time.